Alright, thank you for tuning in to this week's edition of the Vulcan Report. Currently, we're looking at a weekly chart of the euro currency, and as you can see, we have been retracing off the lows. We hit a low point on the week of June the 11th. We hit 118.76 for a low point. And as of Friday's close, we got up to 124.65 before closing at 123.84. Currently, we are in a downward trend as we are trading below the cumulus clouds here, and significantly below it. It's looking like we're going to try to possibly in the coming week test this line here. If we do that, then that could get us up to 126.52 on the resistance in the week ahead if we're going to continue. I believe that we may very well in the coming weeks ahead attempt to test 126.45 resistance, and also the 132.30 resistance. We may even be able to get up to a third pulse wave up to 138.08 before resuming the downward trend. That's a lot of ifs and speculation. Looking at the raw technicals as far as what transpired last week, on Friday a black body occurred because prices closed lower than they opened, and during the past 10 bars there have been 3 white up candles and 7 black down candles for a net of 4 black down candles. During the past 50 bars there have been 23 white up candles and 27 black down candles for a net of 4 black down candles. Now, we had a long lower shadow, and this is typically a bullish signal, particularly when it occurs near a low price level or at a support level, or when the security is oversold. We also have a spinning top, in that a spinning top is a candle with a small real body, and you can see that here. The bodies are different. It's the sum of the open and also of the close. Now, spinning tops identify a session in which there is little price action, as defined by the difference between the open and the close, as I just stated. Now, during a rally or near new highs, a spinning top can be a sign that prices are losing momentum and that the bulls may be in trouble. So, getting us to 126.52 this week may not be in the cards. As we turn our attention to the swing index, as of Friday, our pulse scan reading is negative 35.22, and the market pulse is negative since it's trading below its signal line. The signal line for the pulse scan is 0. The pulse scan crossed above the swing VIX, however, one period ago. Now, this crossing of the pulse scan above the swing VIX creates an up channel, and this means that positive momentum has entered the market. So we expect sideways to higher prices within the next 3 to 5 days this week, leading up to the next 3 to 5 weeks. So that will get us about a month and a half. The last signal was an oversold buy 1 week ago. The swing VIX does not show any failure swings at the moment, nor do we have any divergences in price in the indicator. Since the swing VIX crossed its moving average, the euro currency's price has increased 0.09% and has ranged from a high of 124.65 to a low of 121.14. Now turning our attention over to the market trend for the euro currency. Currently the trend is very bearish, and the trend momentum reading is also very bearish, being that we're trading below the long-term, intermediate, and short-term moving averages respectively. Looking at trend strength, it's bearish but within a consolidated pattern, as we have begun to retrace off the lows from June the 11th. Switching our attention over to volatility, on June the 25th, the euro currency closed above the lower volatility band by 22.2%. Now, although prices have broken below the lower band and a downside breakout, continuation to the downside pattern is possible, the most likely scenario is for the current trading range that we're currently in is for it to continue. Now note we've also violated the upper volatility band, so it further gives credence to the possibility of consolidation, because we're trading now. We violated both the upper and lower bands and we haven't gone anywhere. All we did was retrace off the lows. So that's something to take a look at here in the coming weeks ahead. Outlook overall, as far as the weekly chart is concerned, we do not have any recommended entry point on the euro. What we will be looking for this week, price projections for the week are as follows. We have resistance excuse me, for the euro currency at 124.07 and support at 122.67. We will watch for possible trend reversals to the upside at 138.07. And what that means is it's possible that if we trade up to that level, that the overall trend for the euro currency, looking on the monthly scale, will switch altogether and turn altogether bullish. So if this week we get a close above 138.07, which would be quite a ride, then we could probably be looking at a total trend reversal. We'll also watch for the continuation to the downside with an explosive sell-off, and that would occur with a close below 118.76, and that's not too far away to make that happen. So either way, we have quite a wide range to work with, so we'll have to keep our eyes open on that. Alright, given that we switch our attention over to the daily chart now on the euro currency, it gives us a little bit better view from day to day. It can be difficult to try to project into the future where prices are going to go. I tend to take a shorter view, not an intraday view as far as day trading is concerned. We have to sit in front of the computer. When I speak of intraday price projections, it's talking about where we see any support and resistance for the upcoming session. So we like to know what we're doing ahead of time, 24 hours in advance. Regardless of what happens in the market, we have a trading plan to deal with it. So even though we don't have a signal off the weekly chart, we definitely have something that we need to analyze on the daily chart, which will help give us a little bit more broader picture. Now switching our focus here to this daily chart, you'll see that on the daily paints a slightly different picture as far as entry. Let me give you an example of what I mean by that. 3 white candles occurred in the last 3 trading sessions. Now, although these candles were not big enough to create 3 white soldiers, the steady upward pattern is a bullish one. Okay. Now, the swing index, we're at a 25.47 on the pulse scan and 26.24 on the swing VIX. the market poses